For your health, today is World Suicide Prevention Day. So we wanted to bring awareness to this issue as there was this recent report showing an increase in youth suicide rates. It's the second leading cause of death for preteens and the third leading cause of death for older teens and young adults. So joining us now is Dr. Catherine Rideout. She is a psychiatrist at Kaiser Permanente in Santa Rosa. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So what do you think is behind this troubling trend of this increase in youth suicide rates?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think part of it has to do with awareness, and we're detecting it now. With the COVID-19 pandemic, there was an increased awareness and symptoms across the nation due to this huge stressor we all shared in. And I think our young people in particular felt that. And there was an increased awareness around mental health issues. So certainly being able to understand what are the warning signs for someone at risk for suicide, and starting those conversations with the youth in your lives is an important starting point.
So let's start. What are some of the warning signs?
Sure. So it's good to focus on three things: people's words, their behaviors, and also their feelings. So people who are at risk for suicide will start to say things like, "I'm not worthwhile," or might start to talk about death. They might have changes in behavior where they're starting to look up ways to kill themselves or do more risky things, start to withdraw from friends and family. And they might also express feelings such as unbearable hopelessness, symptoms of depression or anxiety, extreme anger. These are all signs that you can be looking out for.
And how can you tell as a friend or a family member or a coworker of someone who's saying these things that they're actually serious, that they're not just words?
I would say one of our best tools as humans to express what's going on inside of us is words. So certainly understanding, and taking people seriously when they say these things, and coming from a non-judgmental stance. So having a conversation about it. It can be a really hard thing to have a conversation about, though, because I think it's a topic that has a lot of stigma around it. So there's some resources that you can use, such as Take 5 to Save Lives. Also, Find Your Words. These are websites that are freely available to the public that can help you start those conversations with people in your life where you might be worried about suicide. And even if you're not worried about suicide, having conversations with young people about, what is suicide, what are the risk factors, and things that they can do to prevent mental health issues, and when they should seek help can be really helpful just to start those conversations.
And what are some of the barriers that need to be removed in order to help people get the help that they need?
That's a huge question. I think some of the biggest things that we can do as individuals are reducing stigma. When we start to have these conversations, when you highlight, suicide awareness on the news, when we have celebrities come out and talk about their own mental health issues, when we talk about our own mental health struggles, or not even our struggles, just our day-to-day mental health with our friends and family, and start to destigmatize those conversations, it can be really helpful. Because in our cultures, in our communities, in our society, there is a lot of stigma around seeking mental health and mental health issues. So decreasing that stigma, because we all struggle from day to day, might experience stress and have different ways of dealing with that. So having those conversations, destigmatizing, that's probably one of the easiest things that we can each do. And then staying connected to each other. It's really easy with things like social media or with how busy our lives are to not truly connect with people, and taking the time to make those connections and have true conversations can be very helpful as well.
Dr. Catherine Rideout, who is a psychiatrist at Kaiser Permanente in Santa Rosa, thank you so much for joining us so we could talk about World Suicide Prevention Day. Appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.